DPW was happy because now that does
It's simpler.
it doesn't prevent sidewalk construction in the future or reconstruction
Get in the
or
way of anyone, wheelchair or anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
so that the columns were removed and that was set back, so now it's following that storefront, which still is allowed within the form-based
Right.
code.
Mm-hmm.
And then also within here, they show the there's a hatched area for police parking if they want to go underneath here as well, to be able to park in here and access the building. Remember last time there's an access point right in here to get to the stairs.
Yep, I remember.
And so the biggest those were like the biggest concerns that came out of the last meeting. I know as well it was brought up was delivery trucks. This also kind of addresses that as well. So if anyone's pulling up UPS, FedEx, they can pull into this area as well and be able to deliver from there.
Right.
And then there also is the municipal lot over here if that's ever needed. Yeah.
Did you say there was a dimension on that distance?
On which one?
Where the parking area is to the vertical curb?
It'd be on the layout sheet, Danny.
Yeah.
One sheet prior. It's about 11 feet, I believe, from the fog line to the face of the curb.
Yeah, so here's the line of,
Okay, so that's
here's 11 feet.
from the painted stripe on the side of the road.
Yep.
You call it the fog line.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Thank you.
And this still meets ADA compliant. This is still ADA compliant.
So actually,
I can do two things.
I was going to ask if the chief would step up. Would that be okay? Because I remember at the last meeting you had expressed concerns, and I just wanted to ask one simple question: are you happy with the new drawings? Does this work for you?
Yeah, it addressed my concerns with preventing any type of, blockage of the Route 2A Park Street. That was my biggest concern, was having vehicles travel around it and try to navigate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Ken, you had a couple questions?
Danny's done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then there's one more plan that I'll show, and this is came from Matt, town engineer. This is what he would like to see for
The turnout?
for the curbing on the project. This just kind of shows where the transitions are, the reveal, and so what would happen is we would the decision that this gets implemented into the final set of plans, so that they don't have to do another set of plans before the next meeting. So it would just be as part of the final set of plans.
Oh, good.
Because they have, as you see on here, they already have kind of like what it is. They call it the vertical granite curving along here, but it just doesn't specifically call out the transitions and the radius and kind of that. So that's what we would do with this plan. And in terms of, so that's the site plan. Before we go to the next thing, if there's any other comments.
Just two things. Okay. When you bring the site plan back up, please.
Yep.
So the vertical granite curve is shown as it's shown on this, and it's shown on Matt's drawing, but nothing is shown at the other entrance of the garage, which I thought would also be vertical granite curve shown there.
So that is correct. That would also need to comply with our DPW standards, which is I believe at the radius, they have to do vertical granite curving at those radiuses.
We don't object to that. There's no sidewalk there currently, I believe, in front of 1 Park Street.
Oh,
So
you are correct. That's right.
without grading on their or in front of their frontage, I'm not certain how.
Yeah, that is correct. There is no sidewalk there yet. That's part of the
Correct.
future build out of the Main Street project. So I think that's why the vertical granite is not shown on there. So we would I'll talk to Matt about that and see if he wants that shown. But I think because of the future build out of that's going to get redone in that whole area anyways. Let me just confirm with Matt.
Okay, thanks. The other thing was on the sketch. When did you see the sketch from Matt?
We got that this morning from
Yeah.
Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got that this morning.
All right, so you do understand that this is now shown as a concrete sidewalk detail, not a bituminous sidewalk detail?
Did see that.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, no objection to that. I know, I think it is asphalt sidewalk elsewhere on Park Street right now, but,
but I mean, you guys, as a prudent measure for the building, you want a better looking sidewalk than bituminous anyway.
I'd say so. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. But that was basically what I had. The rest I'm good with, and I didn't realize this was done by Matt till you mentioned it, because there was nothing on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was done by you guys.
Nope.
Yeah.
They just added into the set.
So would that mean a change on C3 where it says bituminous to whatever we call concrete?
Concrete, yeah.
All right, that sounds good.
So Matt, obviously, when he did this, being a well-qualified individual, he knows that now this might be like 6 by 18 vertical granite curve that he's using here, something along those lines.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah.
is gonna be the standard. in
Our
town.
standard, yeah.
Right.
It's our standard.
Correct. Okay, so you guys are on with that.
Yes, yeah, that was our intent. We, like Danny said, we didn't have all the details that he had, but we're happy to accept his guidance on what he wants there.
All right, good, thank you, that's all I have.
I assume that the word reveal means the amount of the curb that's above the level of
That's
the road.
shown, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just add to what Ken was saying. At least, I would think that the details should be shown for the right-hand side, because we don't know the sequence of when the state's work would be done or when this building's going to be done. So it should be documented that that's what it should be done.
Okay.
Yeah, my preference would, I agree with Nathan, but my preference would be to install it now. And if they need to remove it and change it later, they do that. But that defines that entrance to the building cleanly. But we could talk to Matt about it, like you said, I guess, but.
Yeah, my
I
only,
think it would make sense for the reveal and the type of curve to match on both sides of the entrance right now. And have the same transition down to 0 where it's needed around the curve.
And I would think we could
It would just look sharp, you know, and then you pave it in and that's all new.
condition it that it would depend upon who does the work first, that it gets done also.
Yeah, the only problem with that is we can't tell the DOT what to do for their curve, but we have some control there.
Oh,
They may change it later.
okay.
That's my thinking on that anyway. Because he's right, it might not get done for who knows when.
Yeah, no, the plan, I believe, is 2028.
Oh,
So-
okay, yeah.
That's whether or not, you know, if that's exactly when it happens, we don't know. So you're correct. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I have one comment just on the on the pull off. I think it's a good solution for this project. I just want to bookmark an idea because I know the board is going to consider revisiting form-based code. As a reminder, form-based code is to create an integrated look across multiple properties.
Yep.
And I don't have a solution here, and I'm not presenting a solution, but I appreciate that we have small properties, larger properties, and when we revisit form-based code, we're going to run into this again with small properties adjacent to large properties, and how can we keep them to have an integrated look and function?
Well, I think the prescriptive code does that. You know, they follow the code, it's inevitably going to have a similarity of appearance.
Should. Where I mean, obviously with the downtown park area, it's a little bit more difficult just because of the parcels in that area and kind of how they look and kind of where their layout is. But that's the intent, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm thinking more of sharing emergency access, overflow parking, turnarounds.
Yeah.
When you have a small lot and a large lot, it's something that we should bookmark for that future date.
One final comment, so can we all agree that the engineer, you and Matt, will work on whatever that detail is on the right-hand side? There may be a requirement for it to get to 0, so someone can walk down just like the other side.
Yeah.
Whatever the requirement is.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. So the next item that we should discuss is the
Comments.
parking agreement.
Oh, okay.
So there was a draft document that I had given to the board at the first meeting. I can pull it up right here. So there's a draft agreement right now with the applicant, with the owners, and with 7 Depot Square. And they would be in agreement for 6 parking spaces at a cost of $5,040 yearly, payable for $70 per month per parking spot, and so $420 per month. So what the agreement right now would be is the length of the lease shall be a term of 12 months starting the first day of October 2025, ending the last day of September 30th, 2026, automatically renewing until and unless terminated by mutual agreement of the parties. The rent, as we just discussed, the terms of the landlord represents and warrants that the authority and permission to lease out the said parking spaces listed above. The 6 parking spaces shall be specifically designated by landlord with proper lining and marking, and may only be reassigned by landlord during the agreement upon the agreement by the tenant.
Sorry, I'll ask at the end, sorry.
Yeah, so there's going to be overnight parking. Obviously, a tenant shall have 24-hour access to those parking spaces. And then the next thing is the parties agreed to going forward with the lease is a long-term lease for 5 years plus 5 years to secure building requirements in the town of Ayer, which shall become auto-renewing renewing 5-year terms unless terminated by mutual agreement of the parties or as otherwise set forth herein. So the one of the comments that the town council had was the agreement only is only for 1 year on the first thing. They suggested that it should be 5 years right off the bat, and then the auto renewing.
Okay.
As well as providing a drawing as to where the parking spaces are, just so that everyone is on the same page as to where the
Has to be an exhibit.
an exhibit, exactly, an exhibit as part of this that would show where the parking spaces are on 7 Depot Square.
Sure, okay.
I just want to pull.
We lost the screen with it.
Yeah, I just have town council's email up, so.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
Now that, can I ask a question then on this? Do we only need 2 spots because there's a 6 requirement?
Yeah, so legally they're required to have.
Because there's 4 on site.
Correct. It would be 2 more off-site, but they have a total of 6, so they would have a total of 10 spaces.
Okay. But they only need 2.
Correct. Yep. And they do know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're aware of that.
That was well.
So one other thing that town council said is, so in the event that any shared parking agreement approved hereunder is discontinued or any associated conditions, such as but not limited to any change in the use of properties to a greater category of parking demand, the applicant shall notify this special permit granting authority. Well, so at this point, it's not a special permit that they're requesting anymore. This is, because
She wrote
they
that
already,
before the.
it was
earlier.
before, so they'll already be complying with their requirement. This is an added. So what I'll have to actually, is it still a special permit? I'll have to confirm, because they're still requesting to have additional spaces off site. So that's one thing I just need to have the town council confirm, is because it's not required anymore. This is just something that they want added, that they're still going to continue going with. Is it still a special permit or not?
Is it a special permit?
Or is it there might be a waiver, because you've brought that up before.
Yeah. To be able to have your parking met off site.
Mhm.
It's a waiver or special
It's in the section 9.1 or something.
Yeah, it's a special permit, and then I think to be able to have the parking offsite might be a waiver. Might be if it's additional, it might be a waiver.
Okay.
That's just the one thing I have to confirm with them.
And I'm sorry, what did council say about did they say something about the 5-year?
Yeah, that's what we had.
What was their suggestion?
So their suggestion, the reciprocal shall be executed by all parties in order to ensure that the long-term use of the shared parking and the agreement shall be acceptable to the special permit granting authority. The lease term is first started with 1 year, but then states after the first year it's 5 years of term renewal. This needs to be clarified with the planning board, and we'll need to determine that if that is long-term use, long-term joint use of the shared parking. Additionally, the lease should include the owner of 3 to 5 Park Street LLC.
So to interpret that, for my understanding, is this dissolving this mutually would require then also the town.
Because it would be a special, if it's at this point it was because it was a special
True.
permit.
But
If it's a condition if we put it in as a condition of the decision, then yes, it would be, if they want to mutually
Okay.
agree. Get rid
I
of
guess
it,
I
then
would,
it bring
yeah,
it back.
that's what I would favor, is that the town be also a party to dissolving that agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, so, excuse me, when we write the decision, we'll be able to include language in the decision regarding that they meet the shared parking requirement in such and such a fashion by having this document.
Yep.
I'm not working as their attorney, but it would be clear that the document would not start until their first occupancy permit or something along those lines, rather than the way it's written with the
Yeah,
date.
I mean, it's that was draft form when they had submitted it, so I'm sure it would be, we would get it, and it would be conditioned that we get a final form,
Yeah, okay.
a final draft.
So we'll have a
before
final
it gets-
review and
yeah.
final approval by the town council, or
Yeah,
review by
town
the
council,
town council.
town council would have to take a final review before it gets executed.
They're making us aware of the fact that there's 6 spaces that are committed to them offsite.
Correct.
To shared parking.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So yes, it would be conditioned that, the final document would be submitted to to me for town council review, and then when they get executed, a copy would get sent over to us.
Okay.
Yes, oh, I'm sorry, Kathleen, yes.
I have a series of small questions.
Go for it.
So on the plan you had, it was 3 spaces and 1 accessible. When you say accessible, is that like a
Handicap.
striped handicap spot?
So it's a handicap spot. So the striping is typically done on a space adjacent to it to provide space for them to get in and out. So since the striping is already here, it's not necessary. It's not necessary between these two.
Okay, sorry, that could be a misuse of language on my end. So it's a handicap spot. Okay. And so is it still 12 apartments?
Yes.
Okay. And so the calculation of 5 required parking spaces comes.
6.
6 required.
6 are required.
6 are required and 1 is permitted to be a handicap spot.
So it's actually, I believe, because they're under, the ADA is, I believe, 15 spaces is when the accessible then I think kicks in at that point. I'd have to confirm with the building commissioner, but they're adding 1 in automatically, I believe, is the thing here.
That's right, and we're still in excess of the traditional, if you will, parking spaces with the.
I guess I'm just trying to understand. So if you have 12 units there, it's. I originally thought it was 1, parking spot per 2 units was the math,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, and 1 is just handicapped. But that means that you can you assign a unit to a handicap spot? Like
That was
I guess
part
what
of.
I'm-
That was actually one of the discussions that we had at the last meeting was how are you guys gonna handle because this was one of the police chief's concern was how are you gonna handle people coming in and out of there trying to see if there's any spaces, and they would assign each spot. So whether or not if there is a handicap accessible at that point, I think that would kind of be up to them to decide if they move forward with that being handicap accessible, or if there's not, then assigning that to someone who's not.
Sorry, I guess I didn't get the assignment. And then the next question was the commercial space. So does the commercial space get any parking?
I do not believe that's intended. I think the parking space we're providing is just for the residents.
For the residents, okay.
Yeah, businesses aren't required to. They're not required to have parking spaces.
Yeah, it was more just that on the plans I think that were originally presented, it was presented as like a cafe or a bakery, something where you would imagine there being significant amount of deliveries, and so my concern was that you might want to reserve a parking spot for deliveries.
Yeah, so that was more of a placeholder. I think someone said that at the initial meeting as well, but this is a very small commercial space. It was brought up at the meeting last week. There's no kitchen in this, so the amount of deliveries we don't think is going to be significant.
Okay, and with the reduction in the size of the building, the commercial space is still there.
Still there, correct? Yeah, on the first floor.
I don't think there was a reduction in the size of the building.
And the building.
There wasn't? Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you were showing that in order to make space for the pull-out, there was a reduction in
No, there was just a reduction in the sidewalk.
the sidewalk.
Just, yeah, and the overhang with the columns. too,
Yeah,
was-
the
that
overhang
was
of the
pulled.
So the actual square footage has not decreased.
Correct.
Okay. Thanks. That's all I wanted to know.
So just to review again, the requirement is 6 parking spaces under the mathematics.
Yep.
They're telling us that they're gonna end up with 10 parking spaces.
Yep.
Including 1 accessible parking space.
Yep.
6 being off-site, 3 regular parking spaces that apply to the size requirement, and 1 accessible that also will comply with the size requirement for an
Yes.
accessible space,
Yes.
with the appropriate signage and whatever else goes on. Thank you.
And in the meeting that we had, they did talk that they would have to assign the parking spaces to prevent any of those,
Right.
people pulling in and out and that becoming a log jam. They would just have them assigned, and it would prevent any of those issues.
So some will be assigned here under the building, some will be assigned around the corner.
Correct.
What else?
So at this point, that's kind of all. That was all that was kind of left open. So I think at the next meeting, what we would do is, so between now and the next meeting, I'll get with Matt and we'll discuss this area down here, the connection point, the transition area, and then from there, I'll start working on a decision as well, with the special conditions.
And Ryan, did you have any questions or comments about the comments left for you from DPW dated January 12th, or is it too early for you to make a comment?
Additional comments from DPW? Was that today?
No, that's
Am I looking at the
wrong
wrong thing?
project. Wrong project.
Okay. I said I thought we were good.
Nope, wrong project.
All right, wasn't there something from his project? though?
No. Yeah, Ryan did provide a letter. Nope.
No, that's the one.
I
All
was-
right. That's their letter.
That's their letter.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
all we had.
Yeah, the
All
letter-
the other stuff is.
Oh, this
the
got
Ryan
mixed.
project.
I mixed it in the wrong.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I did. I apologize.
No need.
Sorry about that.
All of that is Orion Park Drive.
I got mixed in. All right, it got shuffled in the wrong file. Sorry, that was my fault. So, okay, well, good. Right.
Public.
Yep. We'll open up for public comment, specifically to 3 to 5 Park. Anyone in the room have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll direct it to Zoom.
I don't see anybody on Zoom.
So let's move on to the next one.
Okay, so we would continue this to our next meeting, which is January 27th.
I make a motion that we continue the public meeting 3 to 5 Park Street till January 27th.
Public hearing.
Public hearing to January 27th.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, next thing is, we're opening a public hearing, right?
Yes.
For Orion Park.
Yes,
So, I assume that the applicants
they are here.
are here and they can
Yes.
approach the table?
Good evening, board members. I'm Joe Cataldo. Design engineer is Sean Malone, but I'm gonna ask my son Michael to come up because I don't have enough room. I'm gonna sit in the audience.
That sounds fine.
Thanks.
All right, so we need a motion?
You wanna open?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we open the public hearing for Orion Park Drive, map 7, parcel 7 and 38.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye, the public hearing is open. Welcome, gentlemen. Danny, you want to set this up for us and let us
Yes.
know what we can accomplish today with this?
So the this project is a Form C subdivision modification. So it's the modification to a previously approved subdivision. This subdivision was approved in 2003, and the design was Orion Park Drive. The applicants, they're keeping the name. There was an overall plan, subdivision plan that showed several lots as part of that, and a stormwater system as part of the roadway. The applicant is just coming in to modify the roadway and the stormwater system associated with the roadway, as well as the utilities, to build it out to current subdivision standards. At a later date, the applicant will come back for the individual lots to modify those. I don't believe lot lines will be changed, so those would most likely come in as site plan review, not as a subdivision modification. Here, because it's the road, they're bringing the roadway to subdivision standards today. The road is a modification to a subdivision.
Is this a commercial subdivision versus a residential subdivision? Okay,
Yes.
okay. And
Yes.
I wanted to say it out loud so that everyone would be
Yes.
aware.
I
Because
can-
it doesn't look like a whole bunch of lots. They're very large lots with looks like large footprints. So these are obviously intended for commercial.
Industrial zoned.
Industrial, yes. So I'm going to show. I can, if you look up on the screen, you can see this is what it currently looks like. This is Orion Park Drive. You can see the subdivision already shown as a layout. But right now, what it's being done is it's used kind of like as a driveway access to this building right up here on Westwood.
Just one of them, right?
Yep. And so what would happen is they'd be fully built out for this, including the stormwater system associated with the road. This is in the industrial area of Westford Road.
Yeah.
So this is the substation for National Grid. You have Nemco way down here. So this is that's that area right here. It would be a industrial / commercial subdivision. So currently, so the approved set of plans, I can pull those up. That was the approved set of plans, and then the proposed set of plans is shown right here. There is a wetland associated with this project, which is currently before planning conservation right now, and that review for the NOI is currently ongoing. You can see the build out of the road here. With the utilities and showing the stormwater system, which is a basin.
You have that large basin to the left?
Yep. This is going to have water coming down here, the stormwater into this forebay, and then it'll go into this basin right here, infiltration basin right here. So this is just so this is would just be for the roadway as of right now at this point. And then we did get comments out to the applicant today, or I believe it was today, that you guys all have in front of you. So they have not had a chance to respond to them or review them as well. So what I would do right now, I think, is just kind of turn it over to the engineer and let them walk through.
Walk us through? Okay.
Thank you.
That would be great, thank you.
Sure, great. For the record, my name is Sean Malone. I'm with Oak Consulting Group, the civil engineer. I don't have much more to add to Mr. Ruiz's summary. I think he pretty much summed it up, but just to hit some kind of key points. The original subdivision called for a 580-foot long cul-de-sac road. Approximately half of that is complete as shown on that aerial. So we're here to talk about the completion of the rest of it. As Danny mentioned, the design has been brought up to current subdivision standards. It is very similar to the design that you saw from the original approval. Stormwater basin's in the same spot. It's pretty much the same idea. As far as the stormwater goes, we are adding approximately 10,000 square feet of impervious to complete the road. Again, this is 280 feet with an 80-foot cul-de-sac at the end. So we will be capturing all the stormwater in pre-treating it to 44% per the DEP requirements for rapid perk and within critical areas, the environmental areas, and then discharging it to an infiltration basin. So everything would be going back into the ground. We did prepare a stormwater study and submitted. We are showing that we are compliant with all Mass DEP stormwater standards, and that we do have no increase in the rate and volume of runoff from the site. With respect to the utilities in the road, there is water and gas within the Orion Park right now. There is a sewer stub from Westford Road that just comes onto the Orion Park Road. We'll be extending all those throughout the roadway for future connection. So just to kind of give a little more, and as Danny's showing right now, that was the wetland there. That's an isolated wetland. It is also classified as a potential vernal pool. We did meet with the Conservation Commission last week.
Excuse me, could
Yes.
you point out on where the potential vernal pool would, oh, it's that weird looking circle? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you go out there, it's just kind of a hole in the ground. It's just a low point. I honestly don't know if it was excavated out at some point, but it's there, and it is listed on the Mass Mapper as a potential vernal pool, so we're obviously treating it as such. We met with the Conservation Commission last week for initial hearing. We are doing a site walk with them on Saturday. So that is underway, and we've also filed a portion of this property is also within the NHESP critical habitat, so we have filed with them for their review as well. And I think that pretty much sums up where we're at. As Danny mentioned, we did receive comments from I think it was planning, fire department, the DPW, and I believe maybe the police department. We haven't had a chance to really dive into those, but did take a quick look. Didn't really see anything too concerning, so we'll obviously be addressing those, making any necessary revisions, and providing any additional information to respond to those. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So just a cursory look, it seems to me that it's pretty much straightforward. The only tricky things is you have identified the proximity of the wetlands, the possible vernal pool, and of course the endangered species. But otherwise, you didn't see ledge or any other weirdness along that road, the intended road path or anything like that.
No, we excavated I think 4 test pits in November. Some very close to the road, some more in the middle of the site. And what we found was all real nice coarse sands and
That's what I
gravel.
thought.
There is a little bit elevated groundwater, but definitely workable, and it should work well with the proposed stormwater system.
You said earlier that the place at the vernal pool might have been. Do you think there was a sand pit at one time that they were excavating? That someone informally. I think.
This has been farmed
That's what
for
exactly.
years, so maybe it's
Buried.
made for for feeding the cattle or pigs or whatever may have been there. Who knows?
You can kind of see it right there.
Yep. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I just wanted to satisfy my curiosity. Okay. Thank you. My colleagues, any questions?
So was the comment made that the existing Orion Drive section does comply with town subdivision standards at this time, or you're only taking the subdivision standards from that point to the end?
from that point to the end. We're not proposing to reconstruct all of Orion Park Drive. I cannot say one way or another if the subdivision standards changed from
I can tell
2003
you
or
they
not.
have.
Okay. I can say that it does comply with the width. It is wide enough. I cannot comment on the actual roadway construction in any way.
Okay, so you were aware of that there is only the new work that's gonna comply?
So that's a question that I have to talk to Matt about. So yes, I was aware based on the plans.
That's
and
what I
it's-
saw too.
and it's- the question is, because curbing is required on our new
Yeah,
under
right.
our
Sidewalk.
and stuff like that. So that's a question that I have for Matt.
Wouldn't the same question involve if the town were willing to accept the road? Could they accept a road that only is partially completed under the new subdivision regulation, informally completed under an old regulation? Or, we don't even know what the
I
we
don't
don't
know
know
if
if anything complied with the old regulation, cause it's done years ago, I guess, but
yeah,
you can look it up.
We can look it up. I mean, it was built in, so it was approved in 2003. I mean, I don't know if anyone from the DPW would, if Dan was even here then.
No, he wasn't.
So I mean, these are.
High school.
You guys, you thought about this. You thought
I
about
was
this.
looking
It's
at that plan, I
possible.
was like, oh, that was fun in
Possible.
college.
I don't know. I don't know how old Dan is.
But a building commissioner would have signed,
No, would have been,
a building, no?
Back then,
they just could have put it in and everyone said fine.
I don't know. Well, Matt and I will have to do some research into that.
Okay.
But if it's wide enough, it's more of not expanding the road. It's more of the curbing and
Yeah. I
and
mean, with
sidewalk stuff.
I was thinking more of the drainage, stormwater. The stormwater work that's shown here is strictly on the new work.
Yeah, and
If I may comment on that,
Unless it's already in place.
there is no stormwater infrastructure with this portion of the road. It all drains onto lot 5, the one, what is it listed as 77 there?
Yep.
oh, this
The
one
other
right here.
side, yep,
this
it
one.
all drains over there, so we're dealing with all of the entire roadway drainage on our property.
So they're saying that the water sheet flows this way.
Right, just
Correct.
floats. Right.
So that
But just for clarification, the stormwater work that's being shown on these plans is strictly in the new portion of the work, meaning the catch basins and the stormwater that you're putting in, the detention basin and so forth. It does not address any other stormwater.
Correct. However, I will say that we're not changing any of the stormwater running off onto lot 5. When that lot is developed,
You
then
may have to
that'll have
address
to be dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yep.
so
You'll deal with
the only question just that Ken brought up, whether or not the town can accept it as that, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good, well, I'm just assuming that the applicant would want the town to accept the road when you're finished.
Absolutely, yes. Yep.
and can we presume that there's going to be future applications? I mean, the reason
Yeah,
to
other lots and so forth.
do this work is to have these other lots saleable or
Yes.
usable.
Yeah.
So it's reasonable that Lot 5 is going to come before the board.
Yes.
Based on my discussions, there's potential for
You could break it into a couple lots.
this building out this way.
Yeah, and so a stormwater review will be done on Lot 5 at
Yes.
some future date.
Yep. Correct.
Interesting.
One other, the road is going to get excavated all the way to Westford
It will?
to put in the
The sewer.
Sewer and
Yeah,
water.
well, not always, and that's one of the DPW comments, that the stub actually comes onto the property, so we won't
Okay.
go all the way out to Westford.
But the existing road will get excavated.
A portion of it, yes.
Same thing apply with the water. Do you have to excavate all, well, your notes indicated you were gonna put in 6-inch, but the DPW came back today and said it's gonna be 8-inch.
8-inch, correct, so we'll update that, but, where we're tying in right now, that's where there's an existing hydrant, so that's basically where the 8-inch main ends right now,
Oh, okay.
so we'll meet it there.
So it's just beyond the existing paving where the gate valve is or the valve?
It, Yes, or it
No,
is
just before.
actually
This
in,
is in the road.
in the pavement.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
But we will be reconstructing some of that pavement to grade and make the transition to the new section.
Question for Danny. There's usually a simultaneous application for the stormwater permit with the site plan. We didn't talk about that. It's not in our hearing.
I'm pretty sure it was notified as that.
Yeah, we did submit that together.
Pretty sure it was notified that way.
Okay, you mean in the advertising?
Yeah, in the advertisement. Let me just.
Mr. Chairman, what I'm mentioning is we not only open.
I know,
Yeah.
no, good question.
Yeah, to consider a modification into a definitive plan and a stormwater application submitted by Sawyer May LLC. So in the application, in the notification, it was notified properly. The agenda did not, we did not include it on the agenda. So I would suggest that the board also open that as well.
Open the stormwater? So you need a
Yes.
motion for that?
It was properly notified.
Okay.
And you have the documents?
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Okay.
I just,
The application.
yep, this is, I have the
So we
application.
need a motion to
on
open the
website.
stormwater application?
Yeah, because the website also has the stormwater application.
I'll make the motion. I'd like to make a
Um,
motion to open the stormwater application
Yeah.
for Ryan Park
It's right
Drive,
here.
map 7, parcel 7 and 38.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. We got the opening of the stormwater.
Nice catch on that, Ken.
Yeah, Ken asked the big question I had was whether the work extended to the previously constructed street, so I appreciate having that update.
Do we need to go any further into Oak's cover letter or narrative? It looks like you covered the whole thing.
I think we hit everything.
Well, wasn't it, one of the DPW questions was everything's gonna be underground, there's no overhead utilities. But then there wouldn't be.
Yeah, there's no
no subdivision that we would allow overhead
Yeah, we don't allow that.
anymore. Yep.
Yeah, this, I think we summarized all of this.
Okay.
Stormwater, wetlands, resource area, utilities, access and circulation. Yeah, we already went through all of that.
Okay.
So is there anything else, or we want to wrap this into next meeting?
We just gotta open up to the public.
Okay, you wanna go?
I just want to make sure my colleagues.
They haven't had a chance to kind of go through them, so I don't want to go through any comments until they have had a chance to.
Oh, so I guess this was, excuse me, I'll take it a different angle. Conservation submitted some review to us.
Yes.
We wanna check for the record, what they submitted to us, conservation, right?
If you want to read through them, you can. But conservation also hasn't had it. They've only had one meeting,
Okay,
so they haven't had a chance to get through that either.
okay.
So I just,
was interested mostly in number 6.
let me just open it up.
The electric service?
Number 6.
Conservation.
All alternative methods for installation of a stormwater drainage piping should be considered to limit the work near the potential vernal pool, wetland, like directional drilling.
Yeah,
I think that's
We'll bring it
more
up later.
within their purview, not really for us to say. Because that's within the wetland buffer and the vernal pool buffer. Not really kind of for us to say which way we would prefer. That's more in there, up to them. So I would not want to speak on behalf of the Conservation Commission.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Just one last thing. Form C is new. Definitely new to me.
So it may seem new. It's we've only had one other, which was the Stratton.
Okay. What? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you just give me a sense of what we're trying to, what the approval would look like?
So it's a normal subdivision approval. Basically, it's going to have the same general conditions as we typically always have.
Okay.
The findings will be slightly different. It'll be more towards a subdivision, the subdivision standards one, which I would follow kind of like Stratton Hill, and any special conditions that the board may have.
Okay. So it's definitely not a minor modification. I mean, it's
No, it's a major modification.
modification, and so we're going to see all of the same bullets.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. And what would end up happening, obviously, is because they're subdivision plans, they would eventually get finalized Mylars signed by the board and then recorded at the registry.
Okay.
I know the applicant is most likely aware of this, but would you like to put up the GIS for the board to see that there's a conservation restriction on part of this property already?
It's not on the Rose property.
It is.
It's off of where the subdivision is.
Hold on.
It's on the plan.
This is you're talking about up here.
That's an old, that's a different one.
Then I'm not sure where you're talking about.
Go up to you have to put it up with the mass mapper, not with this, actually.
Okay, mass map.
You guys found it, right?
Yeah, we're aware.
It's on your property?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Part of it.
so just to clarify, Sawyer May is pursuing purchasing lots 4 and 5. Those are the ones closest to 66 on the, the west side of Orion Park Drive. Anything happening to the east and to the north on those lots, those are being retained by the owner, and we have no knowledge what their plans are.
These two lots.
Correct.
So they're only here for
But
these.
their frontage is on this road that we're building,
Yeah.
that back lot. So you're saying 737 is not part of this project?
Correct.
737 and 736 are not part of this project.
Only to the extent, just to be perfectly clear, 737 does have the drainage easement where the stormwater basin is going, just right next to 738.
Yeah.
But that would be the only portion of 737 that would be affected. And again, that's an existing drainage easement that's been there for 20 years.
It's on mass map, but there's a CRO.
Yeah, but it's not
on the lots that these guys.
correct. There's nothing. And even if it was, when they would come back for those lots, then if they were to buy those lots, then at that point it'd be an issue. But as of right now, it's not anything for the board to consider.
Thank you.
Any other comments from my board colleagues? I'd like to open up for public comment for the people in the room
4
for
and 5 are the only two.
Orion Park Drive. Anyone in the meeting room?
Actual road.
Don't see it. In Zoom, anyone on Zoom have any questions or comments regarding Orion Park?
I don't see any hands. Nope, no hands.
All right, so we need a motion to extend to the next meeting, which is, what was it, January 27th? I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing for Orion Park Drive to our next planning board meeting on January 27th.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen? Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you at the next meeting.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Regarding the project status updates, do you have a preference in order?
Let's just run through the first two, and then we'll get to Lincoln Hill at the
I
end.
think that's fair.
So the first one is Stratton Hill. So for that one, they did submit their quarterly report. Just pull that up. And while I'm pulling this up as well, they did. Attorney Collins, I spoke to him yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday. They told me that The project did receive their letter from MISA
Oh, okay,
on
good.
the CMP, and that they don't require any modification. That they any modification of the permit, but that they did get approval for the location of the plan of the turtle habitat being moved. But so they're gonna send me a copy of the plan,
new location?
new location.
I'm gonna ask the people in the hall to kind of move it out. Okay, thank you.
So they are going to provide me with a plan showing the new location of that.
Okay, good. And you've been out? Have you been out there recently? Last time I was out there was maybe 3 weeks ago.
It was more than that.
More than that, maybe.
I have not had a chance since I've been back yet,
Yeah,
but I plan to get out there this week.
Lots going on.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. I'm trying to. I don't know why my Adobe is not working. Hold on 1 second. All right, so this is from Dillis and Roy. As required by Condition 41, the Planning Board decision, Dillis and Roy is providing the following construction update for the Stratton Hill Open Space Residential Development. As the date of this letter, the contractor has commenced and completed the following construction activities. Water line tied into White Road with the three-way gate. 530 linear feet of 8-inch water main installed from Wright Road to Station 550. Three-way gate installed at 530. Chlorination tap installed. Sewer line tied into Wright Road. Sewer manhole 1. Sewer line installed to Station 550 as well. Sewer manhole number 6. Sewer inverts installed and inspected. Sewer manhole 1 and 6. Catch basins and drain manholes at the entrance have been relocated. Those were the ones that were existing. They were being moved.
When he uses the word, excuse me, Danny, when he uses the word, the inverts were installed and inspected, should he have said that that's inspected by DPW, or is it inspected by him?
I will confirm on that. Typically, what it's done is it's inspected by the engineer of record,
Okay,
and they submit letters to the DPW.
okay.
The DPW only goes out there to
So it's
witness
later on, or-
certain stages of the project, certain things of the project. Pipe from the drain manhole at the entrance of the existing infiltration area has been cleaned by any storm water. Pipe drain manhole on Wright Road is to existing drain manhole on site has been cleaned by any storm water. Catch basin and the drain manhole at Station 2 have been moved and set to a new elevation. 2 lines in the catch basin and drain manhole remain to be installed. Road and sidewalk to subgrade elevation, Station 0 to 500. What?
Okay, keep going.
I know this did come up with that. We did discuss this. Shoulders almost set to grade or Station 0 to 550. Berm in the infiltration basin 1 has been built. Drain pipe not installed yet. Blasting complete and material process from stations 1950 back to 1350. And then they've also been submitting their SWIPs as
When they
well.
say blasting, they only mean blasting of that section complete. They don't mean
Yes.
overall. Okay. All right, thank you.
So I know Ken did bring up a question about whether or not the road is wide enough. I have not had a chance to go out there. I believe it was built. They're not going to have built it not wide enough, so I will go out there and take a look at it. I know Ken had gave me a call and had a concern.
It's only a
about it.
visual, that's all it is. It
Don't
appears
hurt
it's
to
one-
look.
It appears like it's
It-
one lane to me.
it
not a
don't hurt to
double
look.
barreled entry with 2 lanes, that's all.
Looked quite wide to me today, but
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's the boulevard entrance.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
50 feet?
Well, the road
I
is
am
not
not an
50 feet.
engineer. I'm a driller,
Remember.
so if there's some fabric involved, we can talk about it.
Anyway,
road is not 50
it's only a visual, doesn't mean
The
anything.
road is not 50 feet.
16 yards.
The whole,
It looked wide
Right
to
away.
me.
Right of way.
yeah, the right of way,
It looked
yeah.
wider today than it has in a while.
Okay, good, thank you. That was great.
Can I ask about a project adjacent to this, or is this not a good time? I know we had asked for an update before about the sewer pump station on Right Way, like off of Sandy Pond. And I had provided my visual update to the board, and there had been so much movement, and we had been told that it would end in November. Nothing has happened since then, and we have a large, loud generator that's smelly.
I will talk to Matt and,
And,
see where they are.
Like, they're doing their best to keep it running and heating. I know it's like heating the sewer pump above ground.
It's winter.
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't install these things.
yeah, I'll talk to
The last time the
DPW.
neighborhood had been updated, we had been told it would be done in November. So we're now in January with a
We're
lot
well
of
past that
machinery, a lot of trucks. I'm sure Dan is doing his best, but I would love an update.
Okay, yeah,
Just because I'm also being asked, and it's,
of course.
it's hard to watch.
Yeah, I will reach out to Matt and to Dan.
Thank you.
Anything else on Stratton?
Sorry, I know
Nope,
that's just a
Nothing,
tease.
no,
that's
that's good.
okay.
We need to know about that.
42 Park Street. So for this one, we had a meeting last Friday with the developer and the engineer. It was myself, Matt, Mike, and Heather. We had a list of concerns of things that needed to be addressed. We raised all those concerns. The biggest one, obviously, to us was the stormwater. So the stormwater was not going where it was supposed to be going. I can
Oh, yes, yes, that's right. I remember.
show the board.
It was sheeting the wrong way.
Yes. So let's see.
It rained.
Whoa.
So you'll see. This is running along the Cape Cod berm. All this water is not specifically only from their site, just so you're aware. But no water is going into the catch basin.
Wonderful construction job.
So this is our biggest concern right now, is getting this addressed. So right now the plan is they're going to meet with the guy who did the new paving that fixed the original problem, and they're going to look to try to bowl this area so that the water's going towards the catch basin. So give a little bit more of a elevation towards the area where where it starts going down. Lifts it up a little bit more so it pitches towards the catch basin.
What else you-
Earlier in the evening, we talked about the question of what's a minor modification and what's a major
This
modification.
is going to
Should
be
be clarified.
yes. This is a major modification. This will be going back to the board with a summary of everything that changed, just so that everyone understands what happened. A lot of these changes occurred without my knowledge, without Heather's knowledge, and without DPW's knowledge. A lot of these changes just were done.
in the field.
And we figured it out after those changes were done. We went out there and there's a new wall, no sidewalk. What happened here? So a lot of these changes happened without us being told. So, and that's not typically what happens. Most engineers reach out to us, hey, this is what's currently going on. This is the change that we're looking at. None of that was happening. I don't believe the engineer of record was on site very much. I believe that a lot of this was handled by the GC without engineering.
It was
So
handled by
that's-
the owner's personal oversight,
Yes.
lack of
that-
supervision.
that
She just
as
did what
well.
she, whatever.
Yes, that as well. So there's a couple of other concerns that have come up as well as over by the water coming down the hill where let me just pull up the plan. I don't know why hold on one second. I don't know why mine is working. Let's see. Here we go. So the water that's coming down the hill here,
Yeah.
it's just going out the concrete pad.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen is they're going to put a berm around the concrete pad to make it So when the water does come down here, it'll go back up this way and just follow along where the current water's going. So that'll address that concern. This area right here says gravel. It's not supposed to be gravel. It's supposed to be wetland mix. That's going to be addressed as well. This light pole that's right here, or supposed to be a light pole, they did not put in the light pole. The base is still there, but the sensor is there, so they can't remove it. So what they're going to do is they're going to put bollards there to prevent anyone from driving into it. And then there's a gate that they're supposed to put in here. That's part of the modification as well. They're going to request to not put it in. The fire chief agrees that it shouldn't be in there. Originally, they had put it in there because there was question on whether or not they had rights to access here through 44 Park Street. They have an easement. They've showed it to me. There's a plan that shows where they can access as well. There's an exhibit that goes with it. So a lot of these concerns are being addressed, as well as the radii up at the entrance. Those will be addressed, and then some other minor things like the lights all need to be shifted down a little bit because they're angled a little up, and so we've had a complaint that they're shining into someone's house across the street, so that's going to be addressed as well. And so what's going to happen is there's also some conservation stuff that needs to be addressed, like plantings. So they're going to get all this done, and then they're going to come back with a formal submission with everything to walk the board through the changes and what's been done and how they got there.
Okay.
So they obviously can't do anything now with the weather.
Correct.
We're talking like after April 1st. You
That's
can't put any
yeah,
bid.
they can't. So that's my thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not how we wanted this project to go. We've been, Matt and I and Heather have been kind of trying to get on top of this one, but just getting the right weather to be out there to witness, to take pictures and stuff like that, and videotape, it just hadn't worked out. And now we while I was gone, Matt finally got the chance to get a video of it. So we set up the meeting when I got back, and now we're full steam ahead at least.
All right, good.
I just want to say thank you because we've been asking for these kinds of updates for a long time since I've been on this board. So it's really nice that you have them always, Danny, and to not have to be at the project, but to hear them, and to the three of you, like to Matt and Heather, to also just be included and to see video footage, so I don't have to be out there in the rain on a random day. Like all of that is really awesome and just
Good.
appreciative. Thank you.
Invite me, I'll
Yes.
take whenever this
Chief
is.
wants
Chief, yeah, come on.
There was some concern with the handicap parking.
Yes.
Is that
Oh.
resolved?
Absolutely.
So that was another concern. It has not been addressed. It has not been.
Addressed or resolved?
It has not been resolved. It was addressed with them. It was brought up several times. And then there was that email chain that I had put you on it. They said that they were going to stop. They did stop for a short amount of time, and now it has progressed. It started back up again. So
So I'll defer to the board when you want to start enforcement.
Okay.
I mean, I think we were trying to seek compliance.
I would
but
say now,
Yeah, I would
That's my
now.
opinion.
Yes.
because it's been quite a long time that we've been telling them to not do it.
Would the board be inclined to send the property owner a letter saying that the police department's been instructed to enforce?
Yeah. Can we do that, Danny?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
I
do
can do that.
Perfect.
So
Thank you. And
what's
can you
the-
just CC me a copy as well?
Yep.
Thank you.
What's
Thank
the
you, Chief.
background of that? I wasn't aware of the background.
I have pictures.
People just park anywhere they want.
I think it's in the it's in the rain video.
Yes, yeah, you can actually see it.
I was looking at the water.
So you can see. Let me just get a good one.
Right there. There they are.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the one that I had of
I'll leave
the
that.
illegal parking. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh boy,
Yeah, they don't do that quite anymore, but it's bad still.
that's not good.
So
jeez.
And
Oh, I'm such a rule
Might-
follower,
might
like
we
it
feel-
stresses me out.
Two spaces for the vehicle, two
I'm
spaces for
driving by
space.
it every
There's always
day,
supposed to be
seeing
two,
it.
right? They don't even have two.
I know.
It's a freaking joke.
They comply though. They do comply. It's just not what was on the approved plan. But yes, this is what we see typically. All this.
It's changed. So there was a car parked in the handicap spot parallel correctly, and then the next spot, there's two parked incorrectly, but again, the one parked in the handicap spot.
Yeah, you're not supposed to park in the handicap unless you're handicapped.
What about, does it even have signage?
Yeah, there's pavement markings. It's
No,
just
there's no sign. Is there a sign in front of the accessible space indicating where it is? With a sign on it.
I will.
That's what they're supposed to have, with a bollard with a sign, so.
I'll have to confirm on that one.
Otherwise, it's not properly marked.
Like shopping.
I know. Yeah, I know there is pavement markings.
Right.
This was an older picture, so I'll have to. This one was done when we were doing the temporary CO stuff. So I'll have to go back out there and take a better look and confirm if the
Yeah,
signage is there.
signage is correct.
But I know there is pavement markings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
Lincoln Hill.
Lincoln Hill. So the blasting has commenced on site. I was actually up there today with Jonathan, the Heather, and the building commissioner. We met out there with the developers, the blasters, and the fire department. And we did witness the first blast, which I can...
Was there another one today? After
Yes,
that
there
one?
was a second one around 3, I think it was like 3:20, 3:15, I can't remember exact time. But there was a second blast today. Let me just get this video. So, as part of the blasting, let me just stop this before. So, the way blasting goes is there's a notification that goes out the day before. The blaster is sending out via call or text. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. I'm also sending out an email the day before and the day of, typically. But today, I sent one out today this morning because I wasn't sure if there was going to be blasting. So that goes out to everyone that I have on the list. There's about 28 people that it goes out to. In my notification, it's basically to let them know that there's going to be one in the mid-morning and then there's one in the afternoon. The blaster is sending out one that's going the day before, basically saying that there's going to be blasting the next day. Part of the blasting, the way it works is there's 3 horns initially. Once all the mats and everything has been placed and all the drilling has been done, this is what it sounds like.
It's very, very soft. You can't hear it. Can't hear.
Uh-oh.
Don't know what happened. So that's what the siren is that goes off. It's not anything like a massive siren, but if you're outside, you can hear the siren. You may not hear it from inside your house, but you can hear it if you're outside.
Do you have video of the blast itself?
Yes, I'm going to pull up the blast. So this was the blast from 11:20. Takes a second to load.
Let me ask you a question while we're waiting. The siren that's what we just heard. This has to have been a siren that's been accepted in the industry as the acceptable sound level? Is that where,
Yes.
depending on
Yeah.
it?
Same one we have.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
They do that at Stratton Hill.
Here comes people.
Excuse me?
They do that at Stratton Hill
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah, so this is what it, this is the,
This is the last indication?
yep. I'm not sure why it's stalling out. Oh, there we go.
Well, it's
Wow.
just a number of gigs in the film.
Yeah, let me just get to the actual blast, because that's just, after that is the several minutes between the blasts.
It's a handheld horn?
Yes. And that, what you saw were the mats. Those were the mats lifting up, the blasting mats. They're made of the tires.
Yep.
Those are the ones that they lay out all across it. That's what lifts so that it prevents any rocks from leaving the blast area. So, and that's the blast.
So this gentleman stays on the site that, what, 100 feet away, whatever the number of feet is.
Yeah, that was about.
He's a manager from the blast.
Yeah, that's the blasting guy. He's the one who makes it, who detonates.
So you can see him.
Detonates it.
Yeah, he detonates it. So that's what the first blast was today at 11:20, and we had Jonathan was there, and I want to have the board members also go up at another blast when I can get everyone there. If I don't know if Kathleen during the day.
I guess I'm asking why at Lincoln Hill and not Stratton Hill.
Why what?
Why,
So-
why not a visit?
Or all the other times
I
we
mean-
had last
Why
week.
not-
I mean, I know you guys. So there is so.
Stratton Hill wasn't also the only other project, but that's the most recent one. Right?
Yes, and so there has been some. There's been a lot of emails back and forth that we've been receiving about blasting, the feeling of the blasts, and whether or not the blasts are in compliance with state regulations. So the blasters have set up 3 seismographs.
We didn't answer their question.
I think this is
Wait, he's getting to it.
this is kind of this is why I think why I'm doing this. I just want.
Okay.
I want to have the board informed as to understanding why, what's going on with the blasting. This is there's been a lot of concern from the residents in the area, the neighbors in the area. So I just want the board to be aware. I know with Stratton Hill there really wasn't that much concern. With
Oh, there was a lot of concern.
Not the blasting specifically.
the blasting.
I mean, the neighbors are constantly texting. I mean,
Okay, I'm not getting it.
There's a
I'm not getting
alert.
that.
We don't get an alert for Stratton Hill. But I mean, I guess.
Okay, so we're invited to this one, and that's why you were there, understandable. But,
Yeah.
but there's not, is there an expectation that we are going?
No, you don't have to.
forward this
No, you don't
blast?
have to. It's if you want to witness the blast.
I have witness blast.
I know you guys have witnessed blast, so but if any other board member wants to.
Thank you.
So it's just so that I want the board to be informed with, because there has been a lot of resident
Yes.
concern with this. I'm sure the board knows with they've been seeing the emails as well. So there are 3 seismographs that have been put out. They're required to do 1. They're putting out 3. So they're putting it 1 on the closest property that is not with the closest structure that's not owned by them. Then they're putting 2 additional ones on the next closest structures. One of them, they're kind of switching between several abutters so that they can get seismic readings. And that information, the fire department gets, after the readings are done, they get submitted to the fire department and they get reviewed to determine if they're within the range. And so these readings haven't been submitted just yet because they just happened today.
But the previous set of
Yes.
they all fit.
Yep.
So from the first blasting, not today's blasting, the blasting previous week, they looked at the seismograph and it all fit within the
Yes.
parameters. Okay.
It all fits within the parameters. And so what happens is if they were not within the parameters that are allowed by the state, the fire department would then revoke the permit. And then there could be later issues with the license of the blaster. So this is just more of to update the board to understand where things are at. And I know that the board is seeing the emails as well, but just to keep everyone in the loop.
I was just gonna ask. Don't want to speak for the board, but can I be added to the emails that you send out?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, and then the other thing I wanted to add is
What email are you asking about?
The blasting
the
email.
blast notification.
Yeah. Yes, I can do that.
Is the I think the blast hearing or the meeting that Onyx. Do you have it? Because it's not
I
on
have the
website.
Zoom link, so we're having trouble figuring out how to get it on the website. So what actually I was actually talking with Carly before the meeting, potentially seeing if APEC can get it on the YouTube, so then that way we can have a link through there. But right now, I have a Zoom link, a Zoom recording that I've just kind of been sending out to anyone who's wanted it. A couple people have asked for it, so I've sent it out to them. But we're just trying to figure out how to get it on the website, because the way the website's done, you can't add videos. You have to like have links and stuff. So we're kind of figuring out the best way to
If
do it.
somebody wants it, we should tell them to contact.
Yes,
you.
contact me. Which on the list that I've been emailing, I have said that, and I believe 2 people have asked me for it.
Can you clarify that to me? Which video were you talking about, or which meeting were you
So
talking
there
about?
was a
Is that the meeting that
was
I didn't go
led
to?
by
Okay.
it wasn't a planning board meeting. It
was
was
the
a
information-
Separate meeting for the neighborhood, the
Right, yeah,
informational meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So if you guys want that video, I can send it to the board as well.
If you or Carly need help with APAC, Janet and I are already nodding, but we're happy to.
Okay,
sure
great,
Trevor-
yeah.
Trevor would be fine with that.
Okay.
Or Barry.
Is there anything beside the blasting to address in terms of updates? I mean,
Right now, no. That's kind of like what they're dealing with right now. I know there is some question on whether or not there's going to be blasting or in the easement. They might potentially just hammer that to avoid any blasting within the easement with the proximity of those with the houses. They might just hammer it instead to avoid the blast. But that hasn't been decided yet. And then that's, we're receiving the SWIP inspections, which we actually met with the person who's doing the SWIP inspections today. We saw them out there. We talked to them. But yeah, that's kind of like the big thing right now is what they're doing.
all right. Any further questions from colleagues on the board? I'm opening up to the public. We start with the room and then the Zoom. Room, then Zoom. Room comes first.
Thank you. I'm Faith Salter, 10 Winthrop Ave. Actually not going to talk about blasting, but to just, on the question earlier about the big trucks, considerations on Nashua would be if there was a left turn. There has been damage to the big beech tree already from some trucks turning there. Can't say specifically it was for the project, just saw the damage. For Coolidge, I would want you to just think about the possibility that the peak of the hill is high for oversized vehicles. It's kind of a steep hill, so it's just worth thinking about whether that hill is, I just don't know enough about the size of the vehicles you're talking about bringing in, but it occurs to me that Coolidge is quite steep. So just wanted you to think about that. And trucks have been going down High Street.
Yes, so there was, I have been receiving those emails. We have discussed those.
Lots of text.
Yes,
Okay, I just wanted you to know.
That's okay.
I'm glad you brought it
We've
up.
actually talked to them. They're going to put up a sign right here at Columbia that says no trucks
Talk about getting
entrance.
stuck.
Yeah.
And I did want to say you've been very responsive, Danny, to have seen the back and forth, so I appreciate how responsive you've been. I did get the messages about the blasting and everything. So thanks very much.
Thanks, Dave.
So some people have actually gone up Columbia and made.
Yeah,
those
so
turns?
2 vehicles got stuck up. Not stuck, but there was neighbors had to move trucks. This was it was not great. It was it's okay.
Oh, it's not fun.
They were trying to make some of those turns, and obviously that's why we had told them not to go up there. There's going to be signage that's going to be put right up here on Columbia so that they can see it before it gets up there.
Okay.
Anyone else in the room like to come up with comments?
Julian.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the Zoom now. Anyone on Zoom have any questions or comments regarding Lincoln Hill?
I have a question. This is Laurie Sable.
Yes.
I don't know how to raise my hand on Zoom, so.
That's okay.
Sorry if I just put it in. I was home today all day, and I do, if anybody hasn't seen the emails that went back and forth, the second blast was much more percussive than the first one. Dramatically so. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, Danny, you pointed out rightfully that you are sending around notices of the blasts. After the meeting that Onyx, or whatever the company was that held that meeting a few weeks ago, after that meeting, one of the people at that meeting said that he was going to come around the next day to the neighborhood and bring around his business card and a flyer. I never got that.
Okay.
I hear that some of my neighbors did. I think because one of them was outside. I don't think that I needed to be outside waiting for this guy. And I don't appreciate that he, for whatever reason, didn't stop at my house.
I don't, Lori. I don't think it was intentional. He was doing what.
I'm not saying that it was intentional. I still just want to make the point that he said he was going to do something and it didn't happen. And, you know, we've had enough aggravation with this project that I wish that when people say they're going to do something that they follow through.
Valid.
I think that those are the only things I wanted to say at this point.
I have a couple of things when the Zoom is done.
Anyone else on Zoom that would like to speak or ask a question?
I don't have anyone
Okay.
raising their hand.
Okay, so
Ken?
one of the things I wanted to follow up with was, I remember the discussion with Onyx where we were told that everyone's house would have the opportunity, they'd be notified to get a pre-blast survey.
Mm-hmm.
What's the status of that?
So all of the required, so at the informational meeting that was discussed, all of the pre-blast surveys that were required, those are any units within 250 feet of a blast area. All of those have received their pre-blast surveys that are required. There may be some additional ones if there needs blasting in the easement area. That would include a couple of units, a couple of houses on Groton Harvard Road. So if the blasting needs to occur there, those will get pre-blast surveys done.
So did we get a report back from them verifying what we just talked about?
Yeah,
A written
that gets
report
done to
back-
the fire department got it.
Okay, so the town got it?
Yeah, that all gets submitted to the fire department. That doesn't go to me.
Okay.
None of
I
this
just
information
was
goes.
trying to make sure that we do that.
Yeah.
Now,
So well, just on that as well, it was also offered to any additional people outside of the 250 foot, obviously at a cost. That was offered to other people, and some people actually did take that up.
okay. The other question I had was, and Laurie brought it up, so there must be a chance that there's gonna be a difference in the vibration, the noise, whatever, of these blasts.
Yes.
And they clearly then would make a determination that maybe that one was is it a possibility that they could find out in the field that they need to back that down a little bit?
I can guarantee you that these blasters are not going to put more blasting material in there than is necessary. During the blasting informational meeting, if you wanted to watch that, they talk about exactly the way it's done. I'm not as well versed in that, so I would suggest I'll send you the video so you can watch it. And he talks exactly how it's done, but he says that there's like a 4 inch per second vibration. They're going to be well below 2 inch.
Okay, I just,
They
as we heard about it, I figured it'd be something to discuss. That's all.
Yeah, and so the seismographs will also show whether or not they're in compliance as well. So once the fire department sees them, they'll if they're not, the permits will get revoked.
But
and
it's
then
too late
their
then.
license. Yeah, I agree. It's too late, but I highly doubt that it's going to be anywhere near the 4 inch.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, then I'm good with Danny's report, but I'm curious to go back to the discussion with two other board members about Stratton Hill and the blasting over there.
So to clarify on that, why I was suggesting about Lincoln Hill was it was more of because of the concern that I had received regarding the project with regards to blasting and how such a big concern it was with this project. In terms of Stratton Hill, during the process, I didn't receive, at least we didn't really receive that concern during the public hearings. We didn't have conditions that we had set that.
There's a lot of talk about it during the public hearing.
So this may have been
Was it
prior
before
to
you?
the OSRD application that I was a part of. It may have been done during the pre-application, the preliminary definitive subdivision when you guys did the traffic study and all that stuff, because I wasn't here at
Yeah,
that
it's
point.
possible, but it came up, it did definitely come up during Stratton.
It's very possible. I just wasn't here during that situation, so I can't speak
Is there
to that.
is, in your humble opinion, and
Yes.
should we be doing a better job of notification at the Stratton Hill project? I guess I'm leaving it up to you guys to let me know. Kathleen?
I think that might be appreciated, but
No, I just think it should be noted that sorry, Kathleen, I should let you finish your
there you
sentence.
my only reason of asking like why Stratton Hill, Lincoln Hill, and not Stratton Hill is that like I am a butter. I feel the blasts of Stratton Hill. I'm very familiar with what that is like. And so for me to I would have to take time off work to go watch a Lincoln Hill blast.
You
It's not
That
required.
doesn't seem like
It's not a
You don't
requirement.
have to.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, when you invite the planning board to go, like, that's what would need to happen for me to go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying, I'm very familiar with blasting, so I don't feel the need to do that at
Okay.
Lincoln Hill.
Okay. Now, I was more concerned that it might be an oversight by the board, that it might need more oversight at Stratton Hill.
No, I would actually use a parallel moment that happened between these two projects. And if you remember, we were asked to, because the construction hours were different for Stratton Hill, to apply that conversation to this Lincoln Hills project, right? Do you remember that moment we had been asked by the public? I think there's just a different way in which the residents are communicating. However, I think there's a similar level of unrest and upsetness. So I guess what we're hearing is how many times I've walked a neighborhood, and you see me, I'm actually texting with the Lincoln Hills neighbors frequently. So I've been in these neighborhoods both.
Yes.
And I think the feelings are very similar. The way the communications are happening are different. And I can understand and appreciate what you're doing in this project, and for that reason, but to say it is more or less than is unfair.
No, and
Yeah.
that wasn't my intent. It
Yeah.
wasn't to say
Totally.
one or the other. It's just
I was just trying to get a clarification.
Yeah.
if the whole blasting thing to me, remember, like, I wasn't a part of it, so to me, I didn't see it that way, and that's on me. If there needs to be more notification, I can definitely have that done.
Yeah, I mean, there may be folks that reach out. I think at least the feedback that I've heard from people is that it's very difficult to understand whose noise is what, because you have National Grid working and you have Stratton Hill working.
Yeah.
So
So many
people
trucks
are
for
like,
National Grid.
That's right.
what, right? And so even like the amount of trees that went down are like,
Who's who?
whose trees? And so nobody, people are kind of confused as
Okay.
to what is what.
Yeah.
Did you see the fleet of vehicles? There was a parade of
Oh
National
yeah,
Grid.
I mean the amount of
I've never seen that kind.
I thought it was
traffic
a true
that's coming
parade. I was like,
in, yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of work going on with the National Grid as part of this whole central Massachusetts project. That's
They're
being
using
going
this as like a primary
That's
like
their access
yeah,
point.
access
It's an
point.
island.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can get there. It's literally-
There's two access points. There's Fitchburg Road, and then there's that they're using that as well.
Yeah, it's
Thank you for that.
I think because even right, like I've had folks like take pictures of construction vehicles that are clearly outside the construction time,
Okay.
but they look like they're associated with National Grid,
Yeah.
and they have. My understanding is National Grid has more permissive.
Yeah. National Grid
what
has
they can do.
no
Rail and utilities is
based on
small.
us. There is no
It's true.
They're exempt.
utilities are exempt from our supervision.
They-
Public
they-
utilities.
They worked on Sunday down the street from my house, putting up the incredible cranes they used to erect those new stanchions. It was unbelievable.
So that's kind of also the difference. So I do understand where you guys are coming from. And let me know if there are any concerns. I can always reach out to them and ask them if they could, provide more
Oh, is
comments.
this the one on the, okay,
Yes, we have Pauline.
Good evening, just a really quick question. If I heard correctly, the seismograph records from blasting are filed with the fire chief on a daily basis?
I don't know if they're daily, but I know they get submitted with all of the rest of the reports that get done. I don't know how often it's done. It might be weekly.
Okay, fine, but they're at least on file with the town, with the fire chief.
Yeah, that's part of the requirements.
Thank you so much.
so, meeting minutes. Everyone have a chance to look at the edits? Great, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Air Planning Board minutes for December 9th, 2025 as modified, submitted by myself today.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. You want to date it? That's it. Motion to adjourn, or did you have any other conversation,
I
Kevin?
need to say to the board that I'm going to be traveling for work at the next meeting, so I don't know if there are other absences.
27th.
27th. Okay.
Because it affects the public hearing.
Yeah. So that's what it will affect 3 to 5 Park Street, but so if they're looking for a vote, I'll let them know.
Yeah, if you can.
Okay.
But if they're not looking
it
for a vote,
shouldn't-
it's not a problem.
Yeah, if they're not looking for a vote, it's not a problem. But if they're looking for a vote, I think
Maybe an issue.
it
Maybe.
may
Maybe it
not.
may not be. They may be fine.
But if
They
you
won't
can-
need anything more than a majority.
Correct. This is site plan. It would if it's a special permit for it would be 4/5 supermajority. So yeah, I'll talk to them and
Okay.
let them know, and then I'll also let Orion Park Drive know as well.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Everyone, thank you. Good night.